welcome this change. But for Shopify, they have, of course, put back Flowerful in for the Sentinel. Not going to run that double duelist comp because, of course, the KO is going to come out. Really, the only difference here is that choice of duelist with the Jet on the side of Shopify Rebellion and that Raze on the side of CLG Red. And, of course, that's going to help their holding power just a little bit more with those paint shells. And just looking at the map right now, we have both Chobo and Claudia playing toward that A side with Rise, while on B, of course, we have the Sova of Manita and Naomi on the Killjoy. Not really anything different than what I would have expected.
No, by no means. And we don't have an Astra anymore in play either. It's going to be double Omen going into this. Effectively, besides the Jet and Raze, this is an identical matchup.
I really think it's fine to be picking Omen on this map instead of picking Astra. I feel like at this point, I'm just gonna stress, like, with the nerfs, I think Omen is fine. A lot of players were playing Omen before, but what is that headshot?
Okay, my brain didn't even register what just happened, but CLG are going out guns and quite literally blazing for this first round. And Chobo and company now a little bit of Shopify making the return back, a 3v2 now. 2 left alive. The Sentinel player just subbed in for Flowerful. Or Flowerful now subbing in. This could be 1 2 left alive. And KP, we mentioned before, on that attempted flank. Gonna be doing a bit of a decent job, but Rise comes in through from CT's side, able to take them down. Last one alive again gonna be Flowerful, only having 1 nanoswarm in their possession. Good for a headshot. They could be able to use the mollies here on their left. But someone's already pushing on your doorway. Undetected at all. It's gonna be Rise, trying to find the shots again. Almost connecting, but Rise, good for the triple to start things off map 2.
Yep, and even though Shopify Rebellion tried to move very quickly through mid and go for that B split, they were not able to do so. CLG Red this time winning their gunfights and picking up their first round very early on into the matches. They will be able to buy up those Spectres, even a Bulldog or Rises. They're going to be stacking more toward that A site with the Killjoy basically alone. Actually, Rise is actually going to join her here at mid, but Shopify looking to push toward B this time.
It's scary to think what might happen. Last time we saw Shopify go up against Gen G, only about an hour ago, Gen G never played the mid side at all. I'm wondering if we're going to see CLG do that a little bit more often, but we'll have to wait a little bit while because Shopify do like to play mid, but not this round. They're able to find the opening pick against Chobo, but KP might be in a world of pain depending on what Claudia can do next. They're able to find Lori. KP's still alive with just a classic. The strafe, KO versus KO. Decepticons come out on top, KP to fall. 2 left alive now for Shopify. Make that 1. Kuro, they're going down so quickly.
They really are, and it is just going to be that buy coming in and showing itself in full force as Shopify are going to lose that second round, kind of as expected, but they will be able to buy up, and I think this is going to be the critical round for CLG Red. If they're able to win this and get themselves basically into a 3-0 or even a 4-0 lead, that would absolutely be massive. But for Shopify, I mean, still no ultimates as of yet. It is only that third round. Lori's pretty far away, 2 out of 7. I would have expected a little bit more, but she has been getting shut down on these pushes.
It's a bonus buy 2 for CLG. They're feeling confident now. Looks like mid might be the way to go. We do see some early smoke coming through from Catwalk, but there is an alarm bot in the middle. Okay.
Whereas Gen G did play that the last time as well. And on the A side, I really like how Chobo and Claudia are playing together, making sure they can at least get the trades should they decide to push out. But Shopify moving more and more toward mid. That alarm bot is already down. Smoke once again from Rise just to stop them.
Benita.
CLG Red, they've backed off completely from mid.
This might be the smart play. Benita's going to re-rotate themselves. They have the Sova drone looking above the dark cover. Anyone that's inside, yeah, you can't really see them, but there's 3 potential people Benita could have seen in that instance. Recon bolt ready to strike. Goes on forwards. Oh no, but it overextends. It's good to see behind the arches, but not directly inside. That being said, though, potentially 1v2, everyone re-rotating from Shopify side back on the catwalk here, and Chobo and company might be in for a world of pain. KP doesn't care about the suppress. They're going to keep moving on forwards, but they're not able to find any sort of kills. It's all a meltdown from behind side. They're able to find 2 inside garden, and they take control of the site.
But because CLG Red was coming in from both sides, they have been able to take down so many as Han goes down, and Flowerful quickly follows as CLG Red having a strong start on Ascent, making sure to pinch Shopify Rebellion. And I feel like last time when it was Shopify and Gen G, I was like, Shopify is pinching Gen G. It is really the other way around now.
Yeah, this might be a little bit more risky for Shopify when it comes to those large rotates we saw against Gen G earlier. CLG looking a lot more comfortable than they did on Breeze.
They really are. And with that null command already up on the side of Claudia, they're going to have a really easy time retaking that A side. But Shopify, they're moving toward B. And with here, they're going to have to be really careful to not get pinched on the site again, as we saw in that last round.
Early shots coming through. Naomi's turret blocked, along with Naomi themselves. But this is going to be ample time for Shopify to push up here. Shock Dart going to go underway. Could find some damage, especially against the... Not quite. Against the orb. Not enough. Potential meltdown could go under. Naomi good for 2. Gets struck down by Panini instead. Backside going to get flashed. Pushing forwards. Benita still looking for intel. And dial themselves back to the back of the site. Panini's by themselves. They're one hit. They can be killed by anything, and they are. It's all down to 1 left. It was KP. This is not looking good at all.
I mean, it still was their save round, so I wasn't expecting too much. Not able to get on site because of that smoke, and Naomi playing very, very close. You know, if she had a judge there, potentially could have been a little bit more economical for the side of CLG Red. But of course, she will be able to save that fandom, as it is going to be a tactical pause from, I don't believe I heard who it was.
I believe it was Shopify.
Shopify. All right.
I think this is the first tac pause Shopify have done on stream this entire time today.
I think so too. And I think at this point they're like, all right, we have a 4-0 lead. This is our first buy, basically out of the little hole that we placed ourselves in from losing the pistol. And they have those 2 ultimates available, of course. And there is no Hunter's Fury from Benita to counter that lockdown. So if they are to win a round, it is going to be this one.
I'm just wondering what the winning condition can be. Lori, still 0-4. The Duelist, I mean, you need that space to be created to get onto a site, but in conjunction of having the Killjoy, the KO, and even the Raze with that utility with the paint grenades, things are really difficult to push directly onto a site. We haven't really seen a default yet.
I agree, but CLG Red, it looks like they're placing all their Killjoy utility inside of Garden with only the turret outside on looking through into A main. So this is an opportunity for Lauren and KP to push onto A site, as we've seen in that previous game.
This is really smart. I love that KJ setup. It is an absolute death trap. There's no Astra here to grab well into it, but honestly, with this setup in Garden, you don't need it.
You definitely cannot push Garden, and Shopify isn't going to do so. They're still going through A main, and CLG Red are just going to be going for that retake. The null command has been popped in. This is full control of the site for Shopify.
This is the KP special, going to the backside, having full plan control here. Null command in hand, of course, as well. And a slow retake already coming through from CLG. Still kind of waiting out the null command to see when it ends. Really nice lockdown in reverse, but the Hunter's Fury, like clockwork, comes out ult for ult for ult for ult. Ults everywhere. Ults for everybody, it seems. But Shopify, they haven't lost a body yet, and more keep falling down on CLG's side. They've lost their duelist, they've lost their initiation now, and they're down to just the bare skeleton crew. Pushing through from Garden side, Naomi's good for 1, KP to fall, but there's still so many others waiting in the back lines. Of course, lineup's ready as well, but Lori's good for the backside of hell with a 3K.
Very nice flick there, and that's what we said we wanted them to do, right? Lori and compete, going on to the A site, and CLG Red not being able to execute that retake. So maybe that is the chink in the armor that Shopify Rebellion need to exploit.
Absolutely. I love the aggression and all the ult usage coming up from Shopify. That was the same exact play we saw them use against GLG not too long ago. But CLG, again, the retake a little too slow, and that's what Shopify banks off of.
But I feel like it's still really hard because that was the win off of the null command, and they do not have it this round. I'm interested to see how differently they are going to push onto the site, because we see they're still playing very, very far back.
I like the default that we're seeing now from Shopify. Very slow play from CLG again. Sobadrone's going to spot out at least 1 from Market. The hiding in Pizza, that's going to be so smart from the Raze.
It is, and that's going to deter Shopify from pushing mid, as it will be that Killjoy ultimate popped onto that A site, trying to get the rotates from CLG, but they're not really moving too much, as look at that toaster oven just happening inside of Garden. Lori has already gone past it.
The war zone's now starting. Can't be able to find that turret, sure, but at what cost? Everyone's still inside of heaven, but the Suppress is finding out 3 different agents. That's going to be huge.
It is, but can they capitalize on this?
That's a very good point, Kuro. Look at this, though. It's a trade back and forth. The war zone, like we mentioned, coming through again. But KP finds themselves one of the last ones alive. That spike was planted or pushed so far in the back of hell. Flowerful's the last one alive. This is a doable situation. But that turret, 5 seconds left, 30 seconds on the global timer. I think this might have to be a save.
I think it is going to be a save as well, since, I mean, CLG Red, they were able to stop Shopify Repellion that time, just merely from the fact that all the Killjoy utility was sitting outside of Garden, right? Because it stops the rest of the team from coming on with Lori, and then they're able to take more isolated
10
fights.
seconds left.
Recon bolt just to use it. Flowerful still waiting to see if anyone's going to approach and maybe try to catch them out. But CLG looking more and more dominant.
Darren, is this the opposing 13-1? Thoughts?
Maybe? Reverse?
Reverse? No reverse card? But in any case, Shopify are going to be able to buy up for this round still, but if they lose this one, it's probably going to be a 7-1 for CLG Red, so they really need to start trying something different here. Potentially continuing to use KP and Lori to push onto the site, because even though you don't have that null command, you still have the knife. And that can definitely stop CLG Red from using any of that utility, and if you punish Naomi on one of these sites, I think you can find your in.
A lot of aggression coming through on B main, but Lori is going to take their chances. With the knives pushing towards A main, opening grenade, that's huge against Han and Benita and company. Those opening gunfights looking so good.
But now Lori has tailwinded onto the A side. She has her blades at the ready. And that's going to also be the From the Shadows to get on Panini. They're pushing up so far.
Oh, that's
our
our
really
cover.
Dangerous from all parties.
Oh, had they just waited a few extra seconds, that could have been huge. 3 left alive for Shopify. Panini still watching from Garden side, but the null command now coming back out again. This is good. Still having a knife to suppress. Don't need it just yet, though. 28 HP. Not aware about one pushing all the way from Hell side. Now Benita to drop. Finding one. Wow, really quick shots coming through. Holy Benita, okay.
Wow, and that was another basically good retake from CLG Red getting onto the site. Even though the null command was popped, you could not stop the guns like the Killjoy lockdown can. And just, was that just through the... What?
I need to see that.
How does that hit?
Roll it again, roll it again, roll it again.
Yeah, like... That's like a pixel. Oh, man.
No,
But in
Flippy,
any
I missed
case-
it. Run it again. He's
as
screaming
our
at me.
producer riots in the background. CLG Red, they're going to be having that Hunter's Fury available as well as the From the Shadows in order to get some more information. But Shopify, they're looking to push mid this time, as they will be on that Sage. There's really nothing else they can do at this point since A seems pretty impenetrable.
It seems like it. And B has had some success, a little bit to get on, but the retakes have been a little sketchy at times. So Benita is able to find the opening pick against Flowerful.
Spike down.
And Feather's kind of dead.
Yeah, isolated gunfights are working out well. Oh, could be a triple, nearly a triple. But Panini good for the double instead. Hold on, this is still doable. In the middle, in Marketplace, is going to be the spike. Panini surrounded by enemies. No information about where they actually are. Having to use their own intuition, using their utilities. They do have a flash they can potentially use, but Naomi comes from the back.
I was going to say, she had that Paranoia available and a smoke as well, so I would have liked to see that. To at least cut off one of those lines of sight, since CLG were mostly coming from that defender side. Now, 7-1 lead. Shopify should be able to buy for this round. What do they do here? KP is still very far away from that null command. I don't really think they're going to be pushing aggressively onto the site. They'll probably wait and see if CLG are going to be a little bit more aggressive, since Choba on that A side does push out A main, and they haven't really fought her for a long time. Doesn't seem like they are going to do it again, though.
Spike is playing aggressively towards Spike's side. We do see Benita with the drone. There is an alarm bot in mid side. Benita can play off of that, but the Hunter's Fury is good for at least maybe one. But no, able to run away? Are they? Yes, they can get away from the Hunter's Fury, but that allowed ample time for Shopify to go all the way through mid into almost practically sight. But Bonita gets a double kill, essentially blind, and KP has to clean it up.
That's pretty massive because Chobo is now going to come from behind and push Shopify onto that side. Killjoy turret should spot her out here, though. But Naomi still have to deal with her. They haven't checked backside as of yet. They're still sitting on top.
Naomi's effectively hidden. Haven't checked it out yet. Chobo barely getting away with their own life there. Missed shot from KP. It's a waiting game, though. It is. What is it? KP? Hello? KP's playing a dangerous game.
Site, really.
Are they trying to clear out Naomi?
Yeah, I think they have to, but we see Claudia on the other side. They finally are able to take her out, but the spike has gone down, so it gets really sketchy. And Naomi, sitting at that backside Panini, is 1 health, and she is probably going to fall shortly after.
Panini now, last one alive, surrounded again. Knows about Naomi. Who tried to find the shot, but no, the strafe doesn't work. That was really odd that KP was holding the spike for so long.
I thought that they did have the dark cover that was covering the defender side, but I think at that point they thought that maybe they could have gotten sprayed down through the smoke, so they didn't push onto site, but that also didn't necessarily make sense to me. Shopify probably could have gotten the spike plant down in that round, but they're buying up this round. There will be a Guardian onto KP, though, so she's going to be looking to take more of those long-range fights. No operators have come out yet on the side of CLG Red, and honestly, they haven't needed one.
No, by no means. I'm surprised Lori hasn't brought one out yet, as far as I'm aware. The opening recon
economy is just not.
Yeah, they haven't been able to.
Yeah.
That suppress is going to be huge. Chobo couldn't really do anything there except strafe the gunfight, and it's not worth it on A main. KP's actually going to back off of this, though, reacquire the spike, and I'm wondering if Catwalk could be the end game here, because there's no cage at Util on Garden.
Well, it definitely would be a thought, especially if Flowerful heard that clucking of Naomi's turret over at B. Look at Chobo. She's pushing up very aggressively once again, and gonna have that flash out, but oh, is she gonna get 2? I think she does. That is huge for CLG. They have stopped the push of Shopify completely.
And if you're Shopify now, there's not many options you have. You're down to your initiator and your sentinel pick. Pushing through, maybe double swing at once. One body to fall. Chobo good for a 4K. The first one we've seen on cast today. Holy moly.
That was absolutely massive. Brings CLG Red now to an 8-round lead. Shopify not going to be able to buy now as Chobo, she's just so far aggressive. And I don't think Shopify really remembered that she was playing like this on that A side because they have not gone here when she has done that for quite a while. As because of the save, CLG probably going to get that 10th round. Shopify trying to push that B side, but that's going to be where Naomi is still.
Well, we talked about earlier how this CLG Shopify matchup could be a huge pendulum swing. I didn't think it would be this hard of a swing. And the game's not even over yet.
It is not. And going to be that from the shadows. And of course, the null command coming through. Is the site push going to be successful, though? KP goes down really early.
Okay, good trade starting things off here. Naomi's able to find Lori as well. Shopify, I think KP was, no, not able to be revived, excuse me, but Flowerful the drop tries to go for the nano swarm that's flush out Naomi, but instead they hard swing and take them down into a triple kill, no less.
And once again, they were coming in on the flank, and it's going to be the null command on Claudia, doing a lot more than the null command on KP. So 10-1 at this point. Shopify, they will have that lockdown available, and of course that Hunter Sphere to counter Naomi's lockdown. But really, the B side was not penetrable in that one round. And I mean, for A, I feel like if they don't have the null command, they can't get onto that side either. So is it time to do another mid push?
I think it might be. The mid push wasn't looking terrible.
Yeah, but they're still not going for it. We see some pings down in defender side, and maybe Panini and It Not Han could be that 2-person unit in order to take down Bonita, who is sitting inside of market.
This is a strong push-up, though. The alarm bot's, of course, going to trip people out, but what's the response to that going to be? Some rotates coming forwards, but look from A main. A double potential flank coming out. I'm so scared about that. And going directly into a catwalk push with KP, almost going in solo. They could be triple pinched here. Okay. Han's good for one. Claudia good for another, though. Things are not looking good. Lori and company have to push onto a site so quickly, but Lori's comrades are falling so quickly in response. Rise is able to not find Lori, but by themselves going for the solo plant. Posturing coming out from both sides. Not even close to hear the spike almost go down. It was a fake, but Lori's in a 1v(x). I don't even know how many bodies they have to go up against. There's still one more in A main and one from behind. They have to do what they can, but Lori's clutching it up. Nearly a triple. But Beneda's to save the day.
Yeah, but now 11-1. I think this was the same exact score we had going into the second half of that last map, but CLG just being able to either stop Shopify from getting onto that B site or just retaking quite flawlessly onto the A site. So now when they go on the attack, I mean, I'm expecting them to do some crazy stuff because they have a lot of rounds to work with.
I love that showstopper. That was so effective there. Chobo was I feel like the sleeper pick for CLG in this first half.
Yeah,
so
Chobo
many amazing plays.
She did quite a lot, and I'm expecting her to kind of pop onto one of these sites looking like the B site for CLG.
How much you want to bet? Double blast pack onto the site. Just getting onto B and annihilating everybody.
I mean, we're betting on the same thing, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, come on, Chobo. No,
on, Chobo.
They're going to play it safe. They're going to play it safe. That's okay. I respect it. I respect it. But getting onto the site still?
Now?
They don't need blast packs. That paint grenade's huge. You have to flush out everybody there. It's going to flush out the left, but what about the right? Still bodies falling left and right. A big war zone comes on through, but Shopify only having 2 for the defense. Not for much longer. It's down to KP. From Marketplace. Still 2 hiding behind the scenes. Benita good for the shot. 12-1. I'm like KO right now. I'm KO suppressed. I'm under KJ lockdown. I am I can't.
Yeah,
I'm stun locked.
Keg is very confused, and honestly, so am I.
My circuits.
Shopify. This is their last stand. They are going to be buying up. It will be that Marshall on Lori with Spectres basically on everybody else. Han can only afford that sheriff against that half buy from CLG Red. And honestly, if they push onto one of these sites, especially if it's the one not with Killjoy, I don't think Shopify can stop them.
Maria's already on the op and it misses the shot. No!
Marshall.
Oh.
Maybe up.
Oh, true. You're right. Still could have hit the shot, though. Chobo was able to back up and go forwards and find the shots. Beautiful work. But now Chobo trying to relegate themselves towards Heaven's side. Not able to find too much success. Shopify are looking a little bit more clean and concise, being able to retake A again. Still one inside aiming. Don't have to worry about, especially not anymore. At the very least, it won't be a repeat of Breeze.
It will not, and Shopify's buy actually worked out in their favor for this time, so the next round is going to look a little bit more promising for them as CLG Red will need to rebuy. Seems like they're probably just going to go and save and make this at least a 12-3 in their favor, but who knows? I mean, we've seen some thrifties today.
That's true. We saw a lot of Shiko rounds coming out from the Ascent before. I'd love to see it happen again. CLG now facing match point. It's certainly doable.
Definitely is, and we'll see if they're able to pick off any members of Shopify as they're all going to once again play in a unit together. I think that's really helpful, especially since the defense is pretty spread apart if they do decide to push early. There's going to be some more mid control though coming out of CLG Red as they're moving with 4 members up here. Only that alarm bot to stop them, but we have KP pushed very far up and she's going to flash herself out.
Oh, I love this attempted fight to come on through. This is again the KP special. Triple kill from Han. They want to stay in the game. I don't blame them. Still one side A main. Gonna try to survive, but Benita, of course, to fall. Okay. A very dominant round.
Yeah, very quick, and that's going to be the pinch coming in again. And I thought I wasn't going to say that much on Ascent because it is smaller than Breeze. We saw a lot of pinches there, but of course, bringing over some of that tech. As it will be CLG Red being able to buy for this next round as the operator and the Odin are coming out from Shopify. We didn't see CLG use those big guns when they were on the defense.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that CLG didn't really need to use them either. I feel like Shopify really pushed into CLG a lot. There wasn't a lot of aggression from their own end. Shopify, though, love to go for that aggression no matter which side they're on. And having now the duelist Sova, Lori on the op, things could get spicy from here.
Really could. They're not going to be able to catch out Rise, though. Very close. Not even a wall bang, but just look at mid. Completely open. CLG, 2 members there, but they're not going to push the issue. They're going to back off. Looks like an A split.
Okay, okay. Benita having the spike, going for the quite literal initiation. It's not going to work out here. Trades, though, going to work out. There's only one left now. Killjoy. Not the best situation to be in, right, Kura? This aggression hasn't worked for CLG.
Oh, only 4-2. Nice, a nice pickup. KP is going to be staying alive and picks up a gun. For that next round is now Shopify are coming back alive. And that was a buy from CLG and they got completely shut down, which puts them back onto another pistol. I mean, this could even potentially go to overtime at this point.
It could. Imagine we see what is essentially Breeze 2.0. We see the 12-1 and then almost the reverse sweep. I honestly don't think I've ever casted that before. Maybe like 10-1, but on match point going all the way back. I don't think I've seen that happen.
I don't think so either. I mean, it's happened in my ranked games, but not really in tournaments as I've seen so far. And I was the 12 rounds, by the way. I wasn't the 1 round. A little bit unfortunate as it will be that paranoia coming through, and look at that pinch again coming in from behind.
It's working out almost every single time. We do see the KJ turn now watching for the flank. They have to be aware on Shopify's side, CLG, that Shopify is going to go for the flank. KP waiting to strike whenever they can. They have the no command to work out here. Knife going to go out to see how far up anyone's pushing. The flash in return could find the shots, but Claudia doesn't care. Okay. And these are just trades all over, but still, wine unaccounted for, I believe. Naomi still waiting for the shots. Missing the first one. Gonna miss almost all of them. Panini gonna keep it in the game.
Evan Shopify only losing 1 member there. It's going to be 12-5. Still with their superior weaponry. CLG, I mean, they just kind of have to wait for those guns and try to do something with it.
I'm wondering what the win condition now for CLG can be. Maybe they have to play around KP's flank and just bait it out.
I mean, I think they can also go for a similar situation that we saw Shopify go for, right? Use that null command, get onto the site with Chobo, because we know Chobo can be aggressive. So I want to see her be aggressive more.
Oh, I would love to see that. I do like Han still onto the Odin. Benita hasn't picked it up yet. And you mentioned it yourself that we haven't seen that big weaponry, the Op, the Odin, etc. coming out yet. Maybe that's what CLG Red needs to do.
Potentially, yeah, but they are on the attack, and I feel like the Op and Odin on attack are a little less useful than on the defense. But Silver Jones going to get taken down by Lori. They're going to be a little bit more wary about peeking her as CLG, they're still looking to push through A. Of course, the Killjoy utility is going to be set up inside of Garden, so they do have to deal with that before going in onto the site.
Backing off slowly now, trying to rejoin the team. It's going to be the Silva to go through, and that's going to leave Chobo by themselves, essentially. Smoke's going to go underway, blocking out Lori's line of sight, trying to bait it out with the tracers going through the smokes, but Lori doesn't take the bait. That being said, Panini now inside Wine, waiting for the entire push up here. KP could be the playmaker here. One fragmentation grenade goes through. Potential TP for Panini to find information from the back end. Yes, of course they do, but that's going to allow ample time for Chobo and company to push onto the site. There's nowhere to be seen, though. The rocket fuse doesn't quite work out. The showstopper can't connect, and that's going to be a really good take of the site, but a wasted ult.
They're going to be. Look at that. They've drawn absolutely everyone over to that A site, and Chobo's just going to be trying to delay as long as possible, and the spike plant is probably going to go down. But I don't want the Silva to plant here because I want Bonita to go all the way back into B since they know that Shopify are all coming over from that defender side. It's going to be really hard for her to get out.
Oh, no. Lori battling it out with the turret, blinded out too. Shopify Rebellion have to get onto the site or they're going to be seeing map number 3. It's battle between this site and Haven. Flowerful going to be pushing forwards. Hunter's Fury on its way out. The Speedway having one to go. It's going to be Flowerful to take them down instead. All these gunfights going in favor of Shopify.
What? I mean, that's what I was saying, right? I wanted to see Bonita come up because she had the Hunter's Fury. And if she wasn't BMA'd and at least got that off when Shopify came onto the site, I think it could have been a lot more winnable for CLG. But for Shopify, they just pushed and pinched them all. That's not what I want teams to do.
I mean, you gotta give it to Shopify. That was a really nice retake. And I think it was such a nice retake that now CLG have to go for attack pause.
Yeah, because they have now lost 5 rounds in a row. They were sitting at match point, and they have been sitting there for so long, and now they're going to be on that save, and they have to figure out what to do this round and the next, because this round, honestly, doesn't seem too winnable.
No, by no means. Again, another eco round. We've seen some crazy thrifty rounds in the past, but that was Gen G against Shopify. In this matchup, we haven't really seen that from either team just yet. It's been a battle of who has had better weaponry.
It really has, and of course, it's going to be Shopify that has the better weaponry man out, and just look at the money in their bank. It's just so much. They have enough to buy for 3 or 4 more rounds.
They do. And it's only going to keep racking up more and more as long as they keep riding, tiptoeing on the edge of defeat.
Ooh. They have 2 ultimates available as well. They have the lockdown and that Hunter's Fury available. Going to be playing separately for that, making sure they're not on the same site. But for CLG, their ultimate's still not really charged up. We have 6 out of 7 on Rise for that from the shadows, and 5 out of 7 for that lockdown. So even getting the orb here in B main is not going to allow them to get onto the site.
Could very well be potentially the final round of this next matchup. Han, already going to be suppressed. Could be an aggressive play coming through from CLG. They slow it down, actually bait it out towards mid.
The alarm bot is still here though, so Lori is gonna. Oh, she does get one. She gets out with the knives.
Nice, Lori. Now with the knives, you're right. Able to get onto the side. KP get baited out as well. CLG Red only have 2 left alive. KP is the only one to fall. Rise now by themselves inside mid. Could try to bait up here against Panini. They saw the barrel of the Phantom. Pushing forwards now, being aggressive, finding the headshot. Again, this is a round not designed for CLG to win. They're looking for economic damage. That being said, though, Han's going to push forwards. They have the Odin. They found the call out before, but the pinch comes through. It's not needed, and Flowerful walks away with 3K.
So now for this next round, I'm really just waiting to see when Naomi is going to get that lockdown. I don't believe she picked up the ultimate there. She is only going to get 1 ult point with her death. It's quite a nice shot at mid there. Let's see. Yep, it is only 6 out of 7 right now. We have 5 out of 7 out of the null command, so maybe they even wait 1 more round here just to get Claudia that null command as well, because I think those 2 ultimates pushing onto the site, Shopify doesn't stand a chance.
Ooh, those are some mighty big words, Kura.
Hey, I'm waiting for the ult. If the null command doesn't come out, I mean, they still do, right? So don't quote me yet.
Okay. Opening pick does go against Lori. Lori had the op, I believe, and so they go down. That's a huge, powerful utility gone. KP play aggressive, tries the wall bang, or maybe just pop flash. The flashbang. No, none of the above. Still, a bit of a silent crawl coming through. Fragmentation grenade going to be stalling out Claudia's push here with the rest of the team. There is still one inside mid. It's going to be Chobo looking to find for anyone to cross into Marketplace. Han and Panini, though, ready for that person to reveal themselves, but Chobo's hiding away themselves. They want to go for the potential flank. Could also be a guide for pushing towards mid side. Now silently pushing towards KP. Tries to catch them out, able to succeed. That's going to be another one gone. 3 left alive for Shopify's side. There's no ults to be used just yet, but Chobo finds the utility to throw across market.
She's still alive.
31 HP left. Really good movement coming up from Chobo's side. Now Flowerful, again in company, last 2 alive, needing to find a new way to push. It's going to be a double wide isolated gunfight. Now 1 CT, Panini itself going to spray itself towards dark covers. No, not able to find anything there. It's going to leave Flowerful by themselves. The lockdown not going to be used now, and it's going to be CLG Red